My name is Mike McKay. I'm the head football coach here at Indian Trail High School in Kenosha, Wisconsin. And I'll be talking today about our Big Brother program. We started this program 4 years ago, and we only had freshmen. And we then added a team each year. We added a class. So the first year was freshmen only, the next year was freshmen and sophomores, and then the third year we competed at a varsity level with no seniors. And then we're just now wrapping up our fourth year at this high school. We're sending off our graduating class, our first graduating class here. Tomorrow's our graduation, as a matter of fact. And one thing that we learned coming into this type of situation that maybe a lot of coaches take for granted is senior leadership and the leadership of some of the older kids. And we were really hungry for leadership those first couple of years with when we just had freshmen. We didn't have that kid that we could look to and say, look how he works. Look how he does this drill. We didn't have someone that we could point to and say, he was at a level below what you're at, and now look where he is now. And we were really hungry for that. We did all sorts of things, bring in college kids, point things out, people that we used to coach at various other schools that we were at. And we really saw the need for it that first varsity year when we competed at a varsity program with no seniors. We took our lumps that year. We really noticed that the finger pointing came out, and some of the maturity level, we lost games because we didn't have that senior level. And we thought that we really needed to do something to kind of build that. So this past season, actually one of our freshman coaches, Coach D'Angelo, decided that he came up with an idea called a Big Brother program. And what we did in the fall was we took all our seniors, and we divided them up by position groups, and then we assigned them each a handful of freshmen kind of in the similar position group. And we tried to match them up personality-wise, somebody we thought would work together. And we had those kids, we had them meet one day after school. We took about 20 minutes and explained the program and had the kids, the Big Brothers, meet with the freshmen. And they exchanged cell phone numbers, and they were able to text each other, and we made a rule that the big brother had to reach out to the little brother.
When you talked about matching them up by personality, so it was more, what were the criteria for matching them up?
We didn't have any hard set criteria per se. We talked, we matched them definitely by positions, and then we kind of, kids that were every year it seems like there's a freshman that reminds you of somebody a little bit older, and we kind of tried to go at it like that, and just kind of so that they could say, I was just like you when I was a freshman, or so maybe if they had like a similar background or something, or a similar type of struggle that the senior overcame, that freshman perhaps. And that we had to rely on the freshman coaches. As a varsity staff, we really didn't know the freshmen as well as we do the older kids. So we just kind of just winged it a little bit, and just kind of set those kids up and said, so there were some seniors that had 5 or 6 little brothers. There were some seniors that maybe only had 2 or 3. So we did it. We matched them up that way. The younger kids really enjoyed it, the fact that the older kids were taking an interest in them, and they knew their names. We initially did it just to kind of mentor and bring along those freshmen. And by the end of the year, we really felt that the senior and older kids, the varsity kids, probably benefited from it more than the younger kids. We had a deal this year where on Fridays, school got out early, and as coaches, we didn't really want the kids running around free for an extended period of time. And we had the freshmen that were going to practice. We had the Big Brothers come in after school on Fridays during the early release, and they actually helped their little brother in the weight room, and then they had to go do about a 45-minute practice. The freshman coaches were out there, but our seniors and our Big Brothers led each position practice and kind of took them through that. And I think that was really beneficial for those seniors, and I think the younger kids got a lot out of it. And probably the number one thing I heard from freshman parents was that Big Brother program was awesome. My kid came home and was so excited that so-and-so was his big brother. And they would sit with their parents during the game, or if one of the big brothers scored a touchdown or something, those kids would be very excited that they knew that person, and it kind of made a little bit of a bond there. We then talked about after December and over Christmas break, we talked about, okay, who are some kids that we have that could be potential leaders? And we picked from the entire varsity pool. So we had some sophomores who were going to be juniors and juniors who were going to be seniors. And we picked 10 names.
So the big brothers are not limited by being a senior?
No, we did not limit it to being a senior this year. The previous year we did. We have a small junior class, seniors to be. So we tried to make sure that we wanted to expand it and give some other kids. We had some sophomores, juniors to be that we thought had some good leadership skills. It'd be good for them to get some practice of that. So we divided those kids up. We had 10 of them. We divided them up, and then we also had what we have a big brother, and we had a junior big brother, which is either a senior or a junior who has the potential to become a leader and hasn't quite reached that level where we think that you can be in charge of your own team. So they work in pairs. There's definitely, it's almost like a president, vice president type deal for them. We then just had a random draw of kids that were going to be everyone else on the team. It might be a senior. There are seniors who are not big brothers. There are juniors who are not junior big brothers or big brothers. And there are sophomores who are who are going to be a part of the program. We just randomly drew those kids and we assigned them all a team. We had a team meeting, said, okay, here's your big brothers, sit in your rows. And we just gave them 10 minutes to introduce each other, get to know each other, exchange phone numbers, exchange when you eat lunch, what sports are you in, just kind of get to know them. And what we're really looking for at this point is something to create year-round accountability for our kids. We've done a pretty good job of being accountable to the football players in season, but out of season it's a long time, and we want to make sure we have accountability in the classroom, accountability in the weight room, accountability in the community, and accountability towards service. So we try to create something like that, and we put all that on the shoulders of the big brothers. So within your team then, you can earn points. On a monthly basis, we give out points. You can get, for example, you can get points for, if you're in the weight room, we set a goal of weight room attendance of 85%. If you maintain 85% average during that month, you will earn 10 points for your team. If you are 100%, you will earn 20 points towards your team. If you are at 65% or below, you would take 10 points away. So we do that, and then the big brothers is their responsibility to make a contact once a week. It can be something as simple as a text message. If you see the guy in the weight room, obviously you're going to be able to talk to him then. You can eat lunch with him, phone call, however you want to do it. We just ask that they follow up with that, and then we ask the little brothers to make sure that they're responding back, make sure they're reaching out or sharing any problems that they might have. And we kind of talk to the big brothers about what are you going to talk about? Being in the weight room, what are your goals for football, and how are your classes going? Making sure that they're passing their classes. So at the end of each month in the off season, we ask all the kids to take around a grade check sheet to all their classes and then turn it in to their big brother, and their big brother then turns it into me or another coach. And simply by just taking that out, you can earn 20 points towards your big brother's team. Straight A's will give you a 10-point bonus. If you have an F on there, it's a -10. And it's just a great way for us as coaches to kind of keep track of kids' grades and make sure that they're not falling off the wagon, and make sure their grades aren't slipping. And we can also get some feedback from the teachers. And the big brothers, are then held accountable to making sure that their kids are getting good grades. There's an incentive there. And the incentive is the team with the most points gets a medal at the end of each month. And we just bought a bunch of little medals. They hang on their letterman's jacket. Kids that are football only don't have a chance to win a lot of medals as kids in individual sports, so it's kind of a big deal to them. And it gives the coaches someone that we can go, another kid that we can talk to and say, hey, we noticed this guy hasn't been in the weight room. Where is he? You're his big brother. You're supposed to be talking to him. And so it gives us another layer, and it creates accountability amongst the kids and the players, as opposed to the coaches being the ones holding kids accountable. And I think the students tend to listen to each other, and try and create a little bit more of a positive peer pressure with them. And then, where they can be in a different kind of range of clubs, and that's based upon just each individual's own efforts. There's a grade point component tied to it. There's a weight room attendance tied to it. There's a community service component tied to it. And if you meet the bare minimum of those, you will get into a certain level of clubs. Our highest level of club is a platinum club. And those kids that are in that don't have to do any of the 300-yard shuttles the first day. They would be the first in line to every team meal. They're the first ones to choose their jersey number. They're the first ones to get their equipment. And it's going to be really easy for us when we get these kids in their clubs to say, okay, platinum guys, you're done, no conditioning today, or you guys don't have to pick up any of the equipment today. You get to go. Or we can call out a big brother team. Hey, big brother team number 2, it's your day to stay and clean up the locker room. Or big brother team number 3, your day to pick up the field and bring the equipment back. So we're just trying to build a community, trying to build some accountability amongst each other, and take some of that responsibility and build some of that leadership to some of the older kids.
You talked about in the drills where you had the seniors leading the drill at a freshman practice, that they got as much value out of that as anybody. Why do you think that's the case?
I think that they saw what a good effort looks like and what a poor effort looks like, and I think that caused some self-reflection in them. And I think that because we did it on Friday nights, it was so fresh in our mind in game time that the kids realized that they were playing not just for themselves, but for the program. And I think they took a lot of pride in their little brothers and were able to, be so. They knew that they were being looked up to and had that pride in there. We've also, we did a few drills once in a while, and I've had kids come to me and say, Coach, I taught him that drill, and he's using his hips more now. He's able to get in that stance more now. We would go once in a while. We got some free time and go watch a freshman game, or we go watch a freshman practice, and they'd run by, and you could hear a kid just yell, "Hey, way to go!" Or they yell at a kid's name and a freshman's name as they run by, and that's a big deal to those freshmen. But it showed me that our kids were buying into it, our older kids were buying into it and taking some pride.
How are the points, I guess, displayed back to the kids? How do they know where they stand?
We have an attendance sheet in the weight room, and it's broken up by their teams. So I have each team listed there, and with the big brother in bold, and we check them in every day and do see who's got an X next to their name on that day and who doesn't. And then at the end of each month, we will post the total points for your team. We don't disclose grades to the kids. We don't. The coaches will know who's scoring pluses or minuses, or who's scoring for them. But the kids will not. The only thing the kids really know is who turned in their grade sheet and who's been in the weight room, who hasn't been in the weight room. But they don't really know any of the other stuff. And the nice thing is you can do some incentives too, like with our schools, and a lot of schools now are doing PBIS program, Positive Behavior Intervention System. So like our kid, if you get caught doing something good at school, you get like what's called a Hawk Talent here. It's a little coupon you can take and get a candy bar or something at the school store. You put it in and they have raffles and they get prizes donated and stuff. If a kid shows me that, they get 5 or 10 points, depending on what they did, towards their Big Brother team. So it helps out in school as well. We do community service. We probably offer 6 community service events for our kids throughout the season, and that's a part of it. You attend a session there, you will get points towards your Big Brother. If we need kids to sign up for it, I can reach out to the Big Brothers and just either call them down to my office, send them a text, and say, hey, we need 8 guys to be at the Sholem Center on this date and this time. Get your Big Brother, send it out to your Big Brother team. So it's a good communication piece as well. My name's Mike McKay. I'm the head football coach at Indian Trail High School, Kenosha, Wisconsin. Please feel free to contact me with any questions or comments. I always love to hear from other coaches. You can contact me at my email is mmckay@kusd.edu.
Thank you.